Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again, and it's game day. We got what, a couple hours left until game time, and it's Monday night, y'all. Prime time. We got to get it in. The Cowboys got to come in, show out. We ain't played a game since the Redskins game because of our bye week, and it's been 2 Sundays since we played. And I know that all of you fans are ready to go. I know you're excited. I know you're just ready to watch the Cowboys play. So, big thing. Pair of 3 and 4 teams coming in here together. It's literally the battle of the bottom 5 offenses and the top 5 defenses. So, let's get into some of the rankings and the stats before I get into my other stuff. So, the Titans are 31st in offense. Ooh. But we're right there at 29th. Now, we ain't played in a week and a half, so you look at it like this. Those stats are what they are at this point, but I'll get into that too. So, Titans defense is second right now overall. The Cowboys is first overall. Passing game for the Titans, 32nd, and the Cowboys 31st, right there with them. The Titans are 27th in rushing, and the Cowboys are 14th in rushing. Now, one thing about the Titans is, and I think they're similar to the Cowboys in a way of, like, when you look at stats with these two teams, and you can't base those stats off of exactly how they're going to do in the game, because these two teams are notorious for, they'll go into a game where you're like, okay, they have no chance of winning. They're in it all the way to the end. Whether they win it or lose it, they're right there. Then other games, you're like, okay, they have a chance of winning, and they get blown out. Cowboys, for a perfect example, you can't look at stats with them because you got 1 week where we blew out the Jaguars 47, and then you go back and look at the very next week and we get beat. And it's just like the Cowboys are up and down like that. You really can't go with stats with them. It's just there for show and tell pretty much, because for some reason, and I think a lot of that has to do with the scheming that Linehan is doing. It's like when he gets scrutinized, all of a sudden he's like, all right, well, we got to figure some things out. We have to do what we need to do to win. Let's throw the ball. Well, these are the things that you should have been doing all year, but that's neither here nor there. Hopefully with the addition of Cooper, things could change. Now, Mariota has, for the season, 66 attempts for 1,030 yards. And he has 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Dak Prescott is, he has 62, he has 1,417 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. And you look at those interceptions, and I want to say at least 3 of those, if not all 4 of them, were off of tip balls that the receivers didn't catch, and just miscommunication. It wasn't necessarily something that Dak just like threw, because Dak is just not going to give you a ball like that. Mariota will when he's flustered, but Dak is not going to give you a ball like that. You get an interception off of Dak, you really earn that. Their running backs now. I used to be afraid of Deion Lewis, but if you look at his stats this year, the whole team is their offense is just very lackluster this year. Deion Lewis has 73 attempts, 277 yards, and 1 touchdown. Derrick Henry, which I thought Derrick Henry was going to do more when DeMarco Murray retired last season. I would have thought that Derrick Henry would have had more, but he has 84 attempts, 273 yards, and 1 touchdown. Now, it's reports out there that Derrick Henry is not happy with his play time and things of that nature, which I understand, because as a running back, you want to go out there, you want to show and prove. DeMarco Murray's not here no more. I want to be that lead guy. Let me do my thing. But for whatever reason, I don't know what's going on over there with that. But Ezekiel Elliott, I think he's still second in the league, like, surprisingly. He has 132 attempts, 619 yards for the season, and 3 touchdowns. Now, their receiving core, not much there either. Corey Davis has 30 receptions, 395 yards, and 1 touchdown. Sharp has 16 receptions, 222 yards, and 1 touchdown. And our Cole Beasley has 33 receptions, 350 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Now, I said with the emergence of Amari Cooper, a lot of these things should change. They said that they're going to give him extended play time in this game, so we'll see what happens. I think that his presence alone is going to open things up more for Cole Beasley and Michael Gallup. So look for Michael Gallup out here. And Hearns might do a little something. We'll see if he can catch the ball tonight. As far as the injury report, the usual suspects. We know Tavon Austin is out. Cheeto Wuzie, he's in. Randy Gregory and David Irving, they're both out. Zach Martin, he was dealing with his knee, but he's definitely going to play. Joe Thomas is still out. Now, you look at what we have with the linebacker core, we're able to sustain the fact that Joe Thomas is not playing for depth because our linebacker core and with the emergence of LVE out here doing the damn thing. So I'm liking what I'm seeing with our linebacker core right now. Jeff Swain, he's definitely out, and I reported on this last week and everything and talked about that, so hopefully he can get back next week. We have to figure out what to do with our tight ends because obviously the Cowboys didn't go out and get anybody, so apparently they're confident on what we have right now, so we'll see what happens with that. The Titans, so Titans have... and they have 2 ex-Redskins on their team that know the Cowboys real well. Will Compton and Brian Arakpo both are on the Titans defense. And like I said, they know the Cowboys well because they used to play against them twice a year when they were with the Redskins. So Will Compton, he had a little issue or whatever, but he's definitely playing. Corey Davis, the wide receiver I just spoke of, he's playing. Derek Morgan, cornerback, he's out. Quentin Spann and Kenny Vaccaro are both in. They were all on the injury report as of Friday. Keys to this game for the Dallas Cowboys. First of all, I got to address this. Offensive line play is going to be key because in games before, you look at when we had Paul Alexander, the offensive line wasn't playing to their skill. You would look at Tyron Smith in the game and be like, did he just miss that block? Did he let that guy go past him? Like, this is not the Tyron Smith that we know. We understand that he's dealing with, still dealing with his ankle here and there and his back issue that will never go away because once you get back injuries like that, they kind of haunt you for the rest of your life, especially if you play a sport like this where you're always dipping and putting pressure on your spine. But I think that, like I said, with Colombo out here running things, I think that not just with this week because, they just started implementing things, but I think as we go further into the season, because we're at the halfway point now, I feel like the offensive line is going to play much better. So I want to see them stay in their respective roles right now because I think a lot of those issues and those miscues were because Paul Alexander, his scheme, they wasn't filling it. And you can see that. So they're excited now. So we'll see what happens. So if this offensive line blocks well for Dak, Dak is going to have a great game. Because you give Dak time, he will definitely do some things on you. And because they actually played well in that Jaguars game. You notice when we have minimal penalties in the game, we play. So that offensive line play and those holdings and those penalties and stuff have to diminish if we want to win this game because you don't want progress stoppers, especially if Dak Prescott runs for 45 yards and then it's negated by a penalty and it has to come back. So you don't need any of that. Number 2, integrating Amari Cooper. I just spoke on this. You got to get Amari Cooper in there. Like I said, the team is going to be playing him, so I hope that a lot of analysts out there are saying, "Hey, don't get excited because Amari Cooper is with the Cowboys because blah blah blah." We already know what they're going to do. Okay, we know that we live and die through Zeke Elliott. We know that, but again, the run opens up the pass, and the pass opens up the run. If either one is successful, the other one is successful. So they're interchangeable. So my whole thing is, and this is what I would do if I was Linehan. I would get him in there on some jet sweeps, throw something short, get him in space, see what he does in space, or get him one of those short slant routes that the Giants do with Odell Beckham all the time, where he gets off that line. Because like I said before, Amari Cooper is great when the defense is the cornerback is pressing him. He's good at just shifting them and getting out there to that short slant and getting the ball and gone with it. So I hope that we utilize the talents as they are with Amari Cooper, because if we do that, it'll definitely be positive results with that. Number 3, feed Zeke. You gotta feed that boy. You gotta feed that man. I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of these runs and stuff that they're just doing up the middle and stuff like that, you know, when they got 7-8 men in the box, you can't just run straight up the gut like that. You're gonna have to do some misdirection. You're gonna have to lead him out. You got to spread that offense out. I've said this since day 1 of this season. This offense plays better when it's spread. You cannot have things confined. When it's confined, Dak gets intercepted. Dak gets the ball batted down. Dak gets sacked. You have to spread it out and let these guys get space, because we got a lot of fast guys on this team, and you have to utilize that talent. Get Zeke on the wheel. Get Zeke on some screen passes, short outs, all of that. Let's get it together. Number 4, D-Law going to work. Now, with the injuries that we have on defensive line with Irving and Malik Collins and all these guys getting injured here and there, it's important that D-Law gets his chance to eat as well on defense to sack this quarterback, because, you know, he's always going to get the double team. He's always going to get that attention. So this line needs to work together cohesively to get D-Law those chances at getting to the quarterback. Now, that's key. If the defensive line plays well like they have been, we'll be good. And lastly, create turnovers. We haven't had many turnovers this year. We have to create turnovers, whether that's interceptions, whether it's forced fumbles, whether it's sack strip fumbles, whatever the case may be. Get the damn ball back to your offense, or, hell, run it in for a pick 6. We ain't had one of those in a while. I think the last pick 6 we had was from Byron Jones, his rookie year. I know that what's his name? Tyler Patman had one when he was with us before he went to the Jaguars. So, again, we ain't had a pick 6 in a long time. So, I mean, we about due for one of those. And I'm telling you, fans going to be jumping on chairs when that happens, because turnovers are just not plentiful this year. And I don't know what it is, but we got to get out there and get more aggressive and get to that ball. And that, period. So, I'm going to get ready to this game. I'm going to go to Mark's house and watch the game. I know he's going to be live streaming, so you guys are going to see me on there. So that's all I got for right now. Sorry to keep it short, but I was rushing today. But that's my matchup. That's the keys to victory. If they don't do these things, then the Titans will win, because we already know what the Titans are going to do. The Titans, they're going to try to stop Zeke first. That's what every team is going to do. They're going to try to get Mariota some open looks, and they're hoping that their offensive line can stop our defensive line just as much as vice versa for us. So we got to keep this team on their heels. I'm looking at, I want to say, theoretically, I would say this is going to be a low-scoring game, but I did say that with the Jaguars game too, and look what happened. So I hate doing game score predictions with the Cowboys, because I'm always wrong, because the Cowboys are so up and down. One week they'll bust a team out, the other next time they'll have 10, 16 points a game. So if I had to say, I would say Tennessee Titans 10, Cowboys 24. Cowboys will hopefully get the win tonight, and hopefully we'll have a victory Monday. So how about them Cowboys? Thanks again for all my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, like, share, comment. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. I'll talk to y'all after the game.